You're listening to The Kelly Slusher Show with your host, Kelly Slusher. Well, hello. Welcome back. You've reached Kelly Slusher, aka Avalia. I'm not home right now, so leave a message for me after the beep, and I'll call you back. Beep. Okay, so that's like an old school answering machine message when people would actually they'd have to say they're not home because they didn't have phones with them all the day long. Ooh, I should do that for my voicemail. I'm not home right now, leave me a message. And people are like, what? So, oh my goodness. So now I told you last time I got this bunny. Now I have two because I went and got her sister. Because I'm telling you, there's nothing more sad and depressing than being like, I would like to be home more than I am, but I'm really not because of life. And I'm coming home to a bunny that's just sitting in its cage. And, I let her out. I let her out when I'm home, but we don't want her roaming around. I don't want to open the door and she runs out. So I keep her there. And I keep the door open. She never leaves. Anyway, so I got her sister yesterday, and my heart was so full of joy to go get her sister because I knew when I brought her sister home, that she was gonna freak and be so happy, and then she was. I bring her home, and I named the other one Lolly, and I brought Lolly home because she looked like a lollipop. She looked like a lolly. So I bring Lolly, and she's a month older, so she's bigger. I set her in I pull out the little pen, and I set her in there, and then my little bunny, whose name keeps changing. She's had like 5 names. I don't know why I can't settle with a name with her. And she was so happy. And then Lolly's just sitting there like, what is happening? She was just like horrified. But her sister's like jumping all over her, really happy. It was just it's a really strange dynamic happening up in my little place right now. Because this one rabbit's like, she had her mom and her dad, and she had a couple siblings, and I found out the lady let her bunnies just run around the house because they're litter box trained. And that's kind of cool. And once they get more comfortable, I'll let them, but there's all kinds of different places that they can hide in. So I'm not quite sure about that. So anyway, so really exciting. I just uploaded my first video podcast to my YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. Like, I noticed that I messed up on some of the audio when I was editing it. Because I have put a Debbie Nancy sketch on there, and then the audio, and then the end audio. It's not perfect. Like, I try to keep everything equal. So it's kind of a learning curve, but I will say I'm pretty proud of it. So go check it out. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I only have like 34 subscribers on there. I haven't done anything with that YouTube channel, and now it's like I'm doing it. I updated it, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I really like doing the video, and I also like doing the audio. They're very different. Basically, I'm going to be doing both of them. Like this one's being uploaded, and then my video podcast was uploaded. Will have been already uploaded by the time you hear this. I try to do Wednesdays for my audio podcast, but they're different. I realize because my video podcast it's a little bit less scripted. Not that this is scripted, but I have a general idea of I have like a bunch of notes for my podcast where I think that one's more. I'm kind of talking in the moment, and and also adding my sketches and all the visual stuff. So that's really, really exciting to me because I have a lot of content that I haven't done much with. And a lot of it's kind of lower-fi video because it was from like years ago, or like, not the most, but then there's also the future. I already have an idea for a sketch that I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I need someone to help me film. But I guess for now, I'm just going to have to be like doing it by myself and just using like a single like camera to do the sketch. But I don't know, I'm still new where I live. Like I still realize I know people, but I don't have like really, really close friends here. I have close friends-ish, but I don't see them all the time. And then people I know, but I don't see them a lot. So I spend a lot of time with me, and I hope that changes. I don't want always to be like this, but I got my bunnies. They're my friends. I don't know. I just feel like I would rather be by myself than hang out with people just to hang out with people. Like, I find my time and my energy and my just being with me way more enjoyable than going out. Because I could just go spend a bunch of time with a bunch of people that I'm like, it's mediocre and it's, but I'd rather be by myself and have quality time, and then I'm actually getting a lot done. That's one of the things about when you have this experience of being kind of new and being single and living by yourself. But it gives me a lot of time. So I'm just like, I just got the videos up. I'm going to be doing more of that. The fact that I'm doing audio and video is pretty amazing. So yeah, go check it out and go there. If you're enjoying this, I think you'll enjoy that because you can see my face. And yeah, I did some pretty silly things. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing that's coming up, and I think I can talk about it now because I'm kind of at that point where like it's going to be happening. There's like wheels in motion. Is as to support my growing podcast and my video cast. One of the things I'm going to be doing my little micro bakery. So I've been wanting to do a micro bakery. I got this job at a bakery to have more experience to start a micro bakery. I don't know if I've talked about that. I probably have not because I just don't like to water things down by talking about things too much. So, but I've been at that job and it's so hard and it's so many hours and but I'm good at it and I've learned so much. Like I've got so many mad baking skills now, like rocking it. And it was a great move and I'm really glad. So that worked for me. To be able to just know things. Like, I just feel like if I'm going to have, but micro bakeries can also take over your life. And that's not what I want. So I want it to be like, I love baking, like crazy love baking. Like you would have to, like when I go to my job, like I have to get there. Well, on the weekends, it's early. On Sundays, it's really early. I got my Saturday shifts to only start at 7, but I still have to wake up early. And then my Sundays start at 5. But you get there, the 5 a.m. shifts, this past weekend I had to do the 5 a.m. both days. And it's like, you get there and like you hit the ground running. You got to like bake. I bake for 8 hours straight. I don't even take a break, you guys. I don't even take a break. People are like, why don't you take a break? I'm like, because we have to be out of those ovens by 11 o'clock. So 11:30. So the people that do it's called triple threat, that do the line, they need our ovens. So there's no time for a break. And then I have to be gone by this time because we're not allowed to work over 8 hours or we can, but they still have to pay you time and a half. So there's zero time for me to just go, I'm going to go take a break. No, I got to do this. But it's work that I love. Like, I love to, but it's you have to lift a lot of heavy cakes into the oven. I burned the crap out of myself. Like I have these 2, they're finally starting to fade, but I dropped a sheet tray. I was raising it up. It was hot. It was full of like cake, like a couple, maybe 3 cakes, like 8-inch cakes. And I was lifting it up because there was no space on the speed rack. And I was going too fast and I lifted up and it just falls back on my arm, like on my bicep, my upper arm. And it just left it left 2 lines. And I was like, that's not like a really painful part to get burned on. But then there'll be like little burns on my hands. But I have this like stuff I put on it. It's like honey, by the way, honey. People don't believe me. Honey, raw honey on a burn will take it away. Raw honey. people just go, you're crazy. You're crazy. I'm like, no, it's seriously. I would have like burn marks all over for this. I always like to have a little tube. Oh, burn myself again. You're going in and out of the oven really fast, you know? And there's like a really chaotic place, and there's like tons of people that work there. And anyway, there's this one of my a neighbor. She has a cat, and it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same cat I talked about a few episodes ago, where it likes to use my bathroom as my front yard as its bathroom. But she, at a certain time at night, she starts to call the cat back, and you hear her. She goes, "Hello, hello, hello." Like, she'll do this, and man, she'll do it for a long time too. I looked like 20 minutes one time. I was like, dang. Well, I mean, you gotta get your cat back. You don't leave it out in the woods, you know, or you won't have a cat. But it's just interesting to think about that, like how you have to get a cat to come home, like to try to get a cat to come back is like, you definitely have to bribe it. You definitely have to be like, oh, you want to be here. You want to come home. You know, you come back home, little one. You definitely want to have like, you know, you definitely want to be like, you like with a dog, you can be like, hey, Hank, whatever you name your dog, Rascal, whatever his name is. You call him back, just like that. Not always, but if he's a good boy, he's a good boy. Do you ever have friends who have a dog? You're like, oh, you have a dog? Like, yeah, he's a real good boy. He's a real good boy. You can, it's awkward because if you don't have dogs, I'm not a dog person. I don't hate them. They're cute, whatever. I've never owned a dog except for when I was a little girl. That doesn't really count. But as an adult, I've never had a dog. So, so your dog friends who have dogs would be like, oh yeah, he's a good boy. It's pretty funny. And they are good boys, right? Those little dogs that are good boys. Anyway, but so it's easy to like, you know, to get a dog to come back. Generally they come back, you know. But for the cat, you have to basically be like, what is here? What is here is so much better than where you are right now. Come home, little kitty cat. I don't even know if the cat comes home, but it's weird. It's kind of, it's almost like she's like this ghost, like, Kahoo, Kahoo. I'm thinking the cat's name's Lou or something, like, Lou. It'd be funny if I started like, I should walk out my door and be like, woo, woo. Try it and be like, I'm just trying to help you. But the cat's just like, you know, the cat's like laying somewhere and just being like, I hear you. That's my owner. I know she wants me to come home. I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. I'm too interested in looking at this bird. I've just tried to catch it all day. But I might come back. I might not. We'll see. We'll see about that. So something must entice the cats like food. And if you're enjoying my podcast, The Kelly Slusher Show, please like, subscribe, and follow. And please consider giving me a 5-star rating and review. And now on YouTube, my new video podcast. Now up and running on YouTube, The Kelly Slusher Show. It's a little bit different than this. They're both going to be running concurrently once a week, twice the entertainment. One is video, one is audio. And in my video podcast, you can see my sketch comedy and all the visuals that I can't do when I'm on the audio podcast. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. So I was at one of my local natural food stores, and I was in the chip section, and I saw a bag of chips for $12.99. Okay, what made these chips special were that it was still potato. It was no seed oils, so it was probably either like olive oil or like an avocado oil. And that's it. And the packaging looked very fancy, but I don't know. As somebody I've thought a lot about marketing, packaging my own products, and you have to have a price point that you sell to the grocery stores because they do a double markup. So those people wanted $6 for their bag. I mean, I know that's how it works. They double it up. So they wanted probably like $6.50 for their bag of potato chips. But I don't think that there's enough consumers who are going to be like, $12 bag of chips. I picked it up and it was literally like, it sounded like it was maybe half full, maybe. And I was just baffled by this. Like, some people will do that, but most people won't. So my suggestion to that company is, how much really is your cost per bag? And you could probably sell them for $2 a bag, and they can, even $2.50 a bag, and still make a profit. It's potatoes, even organic potato. I'm sure you get wholesale, and even olive oil is expensive, but like, there's got to be a way to keep that cost down. It's ridiculous. No one's going to spend $12.99 for a bag of chips. Some people will, like the people who like are on the big yachts. I know there's a lot of people up here that, they'll just drop money like that. But for the average consumer, I don't know who you're marketing to anyway. It's kind of funny. I do see all these, I notice all these little pop-up companies a lot because I kind of pay attention to that. Like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. They're marketing this way. They're doing like this. And it's like, yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky to actually be profitable and sell food. So that's one of the most trickiest because it's not cheap. It's expensive. The food's expensive, especially if it's organic. And how do you make a profit and keep the customer wanting to buy it? So, let's see. So, what are you making in your air fryer? I think air fryers are ridiculous. I know, they're so convenient. My mom was like, someone turned me on to heating up my leftovers in the air fryer. It's amazing, way more better than a microwave. I'm like, well, that's because you heat your leftovers up in a microwave. I don't. I'm not going to do the air fryer. You know why it bothers me? This is to be honest with you guys. I do not like the idea of plastic hot. They're always plastic. It's plastic this, plastic that. Keurigs, plastic. Like, we got to stop using so much plastic. You're going to hear me talk about that because that's one of the things that just bugs me, it's annoying. It's just everywhere. And there's like forever chemicals that stick in your body. Not to be a downer, but my platform, I can kind of talk about these things. My platform. You can hear my bunnies in the background. Okay, I'm going to let you go here in a second, but I had a funny story in my head. Okay. What if there was a guy and he worked at this restaurant and, he put a lot of hard work into this restaurant and he has a direct deposit. So he looks at his direct deposit for his paycheck and he noticed that they only paid him half and he was livid. He's like, oh, I guess they're just not going to pay me. I guess they're just not going to pay me. They're just going to not say anything and just pay me half of what they owe me. Okay, fine. So then he decides he's going to steal stuff. He's just going to take stuff. Like, okay, you're going to do this to me. I'm just going to take this big wooden spoon that mixes the big pots of soup. I don't have a use for this, but I'm going to take this. I'm going to take these colanders. I'm going to take this food processor. I'm going to take, let me see, he's got his little calculator. What else do they owe me? I'm going to take a bunch of utensils, and I'm going to take some these gloves. I'm going to take these oven mitts, even though they're really ratty. I'm going to take so he takes all this stuff and he takes it home and he's like, now we're even. And then he gets this email from the owner and says, I am so sorry. Something happened when there was a glitch in the system and they only paid you guys half of what we owed you. We're so sorry. We're going to put the money in your account immediately. And then we're going to give you an extra $100. So then the guy's like sitting in his apartment looking around going, oh my gosh, I stole all this stuff from my job. Why did I overreact like that? Now I got to figure out how I'm going to get it back. I got to figure out how I'm going to get this all back without them noticing. So then he basically gets fired. That's basically what happens. They're like, Bob, why'd you do it? We know it was you that took all that stuff. Why didn't you talk to us? He's like, I was angry. Well, you made a lot of assumptions, Things happen sometimes, Bob. Sometimes there's glitches and stuff, but you got to come to us. But I'm sorry, we have to fire you because you stole everything, and we're going to have to call the police. Sorry. I just thought that was like, it was funny. It's a little thing that, like, something that popped in my head. I'm like, what if? I love my what ifs. The what ifs. This show is based around what ifs. Anyway, let's see. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I don't know if these are going to be a little bit shorter. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but balancing the two audio and the video podcast. I know I just add a little bit more, and it's kind of interesting how much, anytime you do business, anytime you have like anything, there's always like a lot you have to do. Like even me working through my Podbean and just all the little things that you have to like, I got to submit this, I got to do this. They're actually great. I do love my Podbean service, and I do love podcasting world because it's so streamlined and they just make it so easy for people to have podcasts. And the other cool thing about podcasts, even though there's like thousands of them, it's different than the music thing. Like music, well, I think there's more people that submit music through distribution, and it kind of clogs it up for everybody. Unless you're like, I won't talk about that. But for podcasting, it's cool because it's very accepted and easy to get your stuff out. The hardest part about podcasting is keeping it up. And fortunately, it's very much my passion, and it goes along with me so well that I can keep it up, even though I guess I did take some breaks, but that's because my life was rocky. In fact, when I started this podcast, if you listen all the way back, like I started it in the midst of chaos. It was hard. I was going through it was really hard, like 2023. Yeah, I can't even believe. I think about that and I'm like, wow, that's really cool that I started this within chaos of my life. But I did it because I needed to have some kind of positivity and something that I loved and just an outlet. And I can't even believe how I started it. And like, you can actually, because I share things with you guys, I share my life. I don't share every little detail with you, of course, but for the most part, the top layer of what's going on in my life, I will share that because it goes deep, right? We all have depth. And so, some things you got to keep to yourself, but for the most part, you can you'll hear throughout the podcast, all my episodes, my life and all the stuff I was going through. And now I'm here, so it's so much fun. But thanks for listening. Check out my YouTube channel. I'm very proud of it. And I love where this is all going. So, okay, I'm going to leave it here. Finishing up a little bit earlier than I normally do, but that's okay. That's what this podcast wants to be. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, dudes. My name's Judy Control, and you hear me riffing in the background. That's right, that's me. I am the rock goddess of guitar, of all guitar in all of the nation, and I am playing tonight at the Press Club at 19th Street and another street. And come on down and see me, because I'm gonna be there tonight, and I'm gonna be ripping it hard. I'm gonna be ripping it so hard. Judy Control, tonight, on stage, live. There's gonna be raffles, there's gonna be lemonade, there's gonna be all kinds of stuff. Come check me out, Judy Control, tonight, 9 p.m. Don't be late or be a square.
So what do you do for a living? I'm in the elevator music industry. Oh, how do you like it? You wouldn't believe the stress.